Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and a look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erika, and I'm your host.
My name is Cassandra, and I'm your other host. I almost panicked because I didn't have a script, and I never have because we have a little bit of a script for if you're a Patreon listener or you subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, which we thank you so much for doing. Golden Bachelor recaps. We have a little bit of a script. It's important that we do, otherwise they would be even longer.
An outline a bit. Yeah.
An outline, yes.
Yeah.
But the intro part is scripted, and I have gotten used to that. So I was almost like, I'm not on the right document. Oh, no. Anyways, hi, I'm Cassandra. I'm your other host. Welcome to Trashy, a podcast where we cover trashy stories.
And garbage people.
Yep. I'll look at the world's... I don't know what you say. How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I've just resigned to, like, if I say I'm okay, that will become my reality or whatever that's called, you know? You're just like...
You're manifesting it.
Yeah, manifesting. Yes.
I'll tell you what. This is not a bad way to be. There was a time when my husband was working on a particularly bad show. I won't name the show. And it was super bad, but it was like almost over. Not the movie Superbad. It was a show. And I told him, you know what? When someone asks you how you're doing, instead of saying hanging in there or, because everyone is having a bad time, I was like, what would change in your day if you just go, I'm fine, and just see what they need, you know?
Yeah.
And I actually think it helped him. And then he hit me with that same advice because I'm working on a bad project right now. And I was like, ugh, fuck you, you know? But it is... There's good advice in there. And speaking of my husband working, hey, the WGA strike is over and the SAG after strike is over. Hollywood is back, baby. We can start hoarding and throwing out television shows and movies again. We did it.
We did it. Collective labor. It's a good thing.
You know what pissed me off?
What?
I didn't want to post it on, like, in an Instagram comment on SAG's Instagram because I'm like, I like to remain anonymous and I didn't want to deal. But I'll say it on my podcast, on my platform. Joe Biden comes in and goes, and it releases a statement being like, good job, SAG. Good job that, this shows what happens when two bodies negotiate in good faith. You know what? Hey, Biden. People think if this podcast is too left-leaning, buckle in, bitch. I'm about to say something. Hey, Biden. Where the fuck were you for the past 4 months when this was happening?
Not a comment? Not a hey.
Not a comment? Hey, Kamala Harris. Remember when you were the senator of this fucking state? And now all these people are, like, out of work in this city, and it's not just people in the film industry, it's people who, like, are even a little bit outside. Like, excuse me, and now you're showing up when the deal's already done? You think the AMPTP was negotiating in good faith? They literally leaked to their own publications that they were hoping that people lost their mortgages and went hungry.
Yeah.
Like, where were you this whole time?
Well, he had to get his dog under control. He was pretty busy. Biden's been, giving money to different interests and can't get into a lot of it, but he's really got to get his dog under control. So he didn't have time to, like, support the labor. You got to get your dog under control.
I can't. I fucking can't control this dog. Hey.
Yeah.
Quiet. Yeah. Anyways, it just made me mad. And I was going to comment something, but I was like, I don't want anyone to comment, because some people were saying similar things, and people were like, he's just been, like, running the country. And then there was, like, mostly comments just being like, nobody wants to hear from Genocide Joe. But I was like, I don't want to chime in here because I don't want people to then be like, you're a Trump supporter or what. Like, there is a world that exists in US politics where you can not support Trump, not support any of the Republican options, but also be, like, really, really annoyed at Joe Biden and be like so bummed out that he is going to be the choice again. I'm not one of those people who's declaring that I'm not going to vote for him because that's stupid. And if you want to say some shit to me about that, we can have a pleasant conversation. But
yeah, it's hard for the people. Like I talk to people, let's say back home about their support, right? And they're like, well, this. And I'm like, no, 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 no. We don't like Joe Biden. He's just better than the other guy. But I do like it when he goes like, this isn't a politics podcast, but when he goes like dark Brandon and he kind of just it's just like says something like really snarky or like in my mind
he's
just like
got a good social media team.
he's got a good team. And he'll just put on like in my mind, he just puts on like a pair of like black sunglasses and he's just like, I'm gonna snipe this guy for a minute. I don't know. That's fun. But also I'm a very petty, immature person. So in
I
that
think
way.
I've gotten used to him not being useful whatsoever in these labor strikes that have destroyed people's lives, that have impacted my life personally in a
Mhm.
really, really, really big way
Mhm.
negatively, which is a hard position to be in because you're supporting your union, but also like everyone. I mean, it sucks, it
Mhm.
sucks to not work. So I just got used to him not chiming in. And so it just like it felt like when you're on a group project and then like everyone does all the work and then that one person who like went to like on vacation
Yeah, they went to
during the group
Cabo.
project like shows up and he was like, wow, like great job everybody, and then like was like, I'll go ahead and be the one to present it. And it's like, but you didn't do anything. Anyways, I really don't want to talk about him much more because this is not policy. A lot of people don't like him right now. There are way bigger things going on in the world than just the SAG strike.
Like his
And
dog. Sorry.
yeah, his dog, or, him funding millions of dollars to a different country who might be genocide. Anyways,
We really can't. We just don't
we
have the
really
time.
can't get into it. We
We just
really
don't
fucking
have the
can't.
time. I would like to ask why you're trash.
Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. I love the smell of fresh IKEA.
Now,
You
are
know,
you
huh?
guys going together? Or are you going solo?
We go together.
And you guys don't get into a massive fight?
We always start with meatballs, so we're never hungry.
Oh, okay.
That's the secret.
This don't gatekeep this. I'm glad you're releasing this
I'm
information.
going to tell you what, if you want to go to IKEA with your spouse because you guys need something or just whatever, when it was really, really hot and we just wanted to like exercise a little bit during the day, you could go walk around the huge IKEA. But no, you go in and the first place you hit is the cafeteria. Like go around lunchtime or dinner or whatever you need to do. Eat first and then
Mm.
shop, because if you do it the other way around, you're cruising for a bruising.
I can think of one time I went where I did not leave in tears, or we'll talk about it when we get to the car. Save it for the car.
But what it is specifically that I'm referring to is not just like, because you could go to an IKEA and like it has like that little bit of IKEA smell, but then it smells like, someone's baby shit its pants. So like it's not an IKEA smell specifically. It's when you have an IKEA purchase. For example, we got one of those like kind of ugly cube things for our home office corner that we have of our living room.
Oh, where it's just like
And
a bunch of same size squares that you can stack together.
yeah, it's like or you can buy the little bins to slide in and out.
I got multiple one of those. Absolutely.
They're a useful tool. Are they the best looking? No. But they really do the job, and sometimes you just need the job done. But we got some little doors for 3 of the cubes to make it look a little bit better. And so I store my microphone into one of these to hide it because I can't have people know I do this. And so when I get ready to set up, I have to pull it out, and that little door, it closes in that fresh that fresh deforestation smell. Illegally cut trees in Brazil
Yeah, of course.
smell that IKEA has. Like right when you open a box or just it's like a new car smell, but it's a new IKEA smell. I don't know what it is. I don't think other furniture smells quite like this. But I just like, you know, like people like the smell of gasoline. Like I feel like this is like my
Yeah.
gasoline. I'm gonna take a pull right now. 1 second. Oh my god, it's so good. Ooh, what a rush.
What a
Uh,
loon.
why are you trash?
Yeah. So mine's gonna be a scent related issue as well. So
Great.
there's a brand called Catbird.
Yes, they have jewelry.
Jewelry and candles. So
Oh,
they have,
New York-based company.
New York-based company. They have a set of like fine, like gold, simple, like simplistic jewelries, things like that, eloquent looking. They also do permanent bracelets, which is where they measure out a piece, like links different size cuffs of gold, and then they weld it together on your body. Then they weld it together on your body, create without a clasp. So it's essentially a permanent bracelet, right? It's great, fairly eloquent. They were doing a pop-up in LA last year. They had a residency in Culver City for like 30 days, right by where I used to work. So we'd walk over to this area, get some lunch, get a coffee, whatever. And we walk past it and I go, oh man, I really want to make an appointment for a permanent bracelet. Well, the day I, thought of that again, we were walking by and they're closing because it was a temporary pop-up. So they have oogles of their candles, $40, $60, $70 candles on the sidewalk. And it says, please take some. Like, please take them. Like, we just don't want to ship them back to New York. It's going to be better for us to lose this money in inventory than have to ship it back to New York. So we go, oh, we can just have, and they're like, please take as many as you'd like. And we're like, oh, okay. Well, there's a Sweet Green right by this place. So we go get those little green bags from Sweet Green, the shopping bags that you get your lunch to go in. And me and 4 coworkers, we're loading up on candles. Because they said, please take as many as you like, thinking we'd take 1, 2, 3 at max. We're taking like 6 or 7 a piece. And the lady finally came out and was like, leave some for someone else. Like anxious to have to tell us, like, you little scoundrels, get away from us.
Well, what do you think? What are people gonna do?
You said
You say free.
I'm saving. The carbon footprint I'm erasing from this universe. You're welcome. So we took a bunch, and then they kind of gave us they scolded us a bit. And anyway, but I have a lot of Catbird candles, and what is the thing where it's like the sticks and it smells good?
Incense?
Incense, yeah, like incense burn. I have great stuff from Catbird now. We stole a bunch of the free ones. Anyway, I'm garbage. I'm just really glad that there wasn't a piece of law enforcement around.
Well, that is a good segue to our first story, I suppose, although I am offended by this.
From NBCnews.com. Driver of booty control truck that resembled the Border Patrol is cited in Florida. Florida man, you never disappoint me.
Now, here's something that's weird. Okay, so this booty patrol, his truck looked like a Border Patrol truck, but it said booty patrol. And now he's getting arrested for impersonating authorities. But
he did have an FBI shirt on, a female body inspector.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Isn't there some sort of protection under parody law? Like, it doesn't say Border Patrol, but then he walks out of his car and goes, just kidding, shake that ass, it's the Booty Patrol. His truck says Booty Patrol.
When he honks his horn, it goes, whoop, whoop, pull over that ass too fat. Whoop, whoop, pull over that ass too fat. So, like, I mean, yeah.
Like, I understand, like, maybe it's like, hey, you can't have sirens.
Sure.
Like, fine. Take the sirens off. But I just don't. This feels like as if you were to arrest someone for wearing one of those female body inspector. I'm looking at the picture of the truck. It says Booty Patrol.
Booty Patrol.
Like, it's the fucking Booty Patrol. They've got some guy sitting in the back with his arm out the window. Like, it's obviously the Booty Patrol.
Like a juvenile song. It's insane. And they arrested him. Where's the free speech in this country? Where is it?
If not in
Need to find it.
If not in Florida, where? Perhaps in Kansas?
Well, I don't know about that either. From Nordot.app,
Oh.
sexting video of city manager in Kansas was sent to employees, roiling City Hall.
City leaders and employees in Shawnee, Kansas are shocked and left wondering about the future after some employees received an email containing an explicit video of their new city manager masturbating. Well,
to be fair, I feel like that's just orientation. Like, it's just, hey guys, this is what you're going to expect on the job. This is Gary, and that's what he's going to do. And, if you need anything, speak to Shannon about invoices. This is insane.
So here's what's crazy. I'm not going to name the city manager, it doesn't matter. But he was hired in March, and he didn't himself send the video to the employees, nor was it sent by an official computer system. It was just emailed to multiple employees by an anonymous third party who, in recent emails with the Kansas City Star, said that they wanted to reveal Gerber's online behavior. And I got to be honest with you, there's not a lot of well-paying jobs anymore. You know? So have you ever thought that maybe city manager wasn't making the bills and that this guy was like, I got to get an OnlyFans to supplement my child's college, you know? Or like, fine, maybe
he's supporting people who are on OnlyFans. He supports small business owners.
And I don't know enough about this, so maybe this was bad. Okay. But with the information that I have.
Yeah, okay.
That's the whole basis of Trashy.
That's fair. We don't have
one side of the story only. And then everything else is hearsay. But like, I just feel like who cares? Because he didn't send it.
Right.
He's not some sicko pervert who's like, I'm going to send this off. He wasn't doing it on company time or on a company computer.
But what do we know it wasn't on company time? Is there a newspaper and a timestamp? What if he was doing it on his lunch?
Well, I don't know because...
And then is that your time or is that the city's time if you're on a lunch break?
I mean, that's a good question. Like, I just feel like the real villain here is this anonymous third party who sent these videos out. You know? I mean, but then there's someone else saying, I found it incredulous that nobody told the city council. We've got an HR director, two assistant city managers, department heads, city manager. I mean, no one would bother to tell the elected representatives this is percolating down here at City Hall. Ethically, it was certainly a responsibility of the city manager to advise us that this email did exist in City Hall with the staff. Oh, wait. Oh, he's just mad because why?
I guess because it is a thing. I don't know. I'm like, again, the city manager is not the one who emailed it.
It says later in the article that by Kansas statute, It says later down in the article that by Kansas statute, this city manager can claim victim status because it's unlawful to disseminate any videotape, photograph, film, or image of another identifiable person 18 years or older who is in the nude, engaged in sexual activity, blah, 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 like who didn't express consent to this.
They have a reasonable expectation of privacy, which, God damn it, that's my America.
Yeah, I mean, again, like maybe there's more to this, but to me, it just seems like this guy was masturbating online on his own time, and you can't just because that makes you upset. First of all, how do you see it? Unidentified third party. What were you doing?
I'm saying let's start a manhunt for whoever screen capped this.
I just think it's because that's the thing, you know, like you found it.
Yeah.
So you must have been on whatever website this was happening on.
Yep. Yep.
Explain yourself.
Well, I would love to hear the explanation for the person in our next story. And I have a slight theory. So let's get to it.
Great. Read it. Tell the people.
From apnews.com. Man trapped in jewelry vault overnight is freed when timer opens the chamber as scheduled. Now, this man was trapped inside of a steel-reinforced concrete jewelry vault in New York City overnight after firefighters had to abandon an attempt to rescue him for safety reasons. The safety reasons? They were sleepy.
Aww. Oh, sleepy.
Oh, this is completely unrelated to the story, but I sent Cassandra a very important message on Instagram this week. Australia every year releases a calendar
Oh my
of their
God.
firefighters with native Australian animals, and this is important diplomatic information. It's like, okay, firefighters, the hottest of all of the civil servants, right?
I would say.
Like comptrollers don't even come close. You can't even touch a firefighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine Australian firefighters, dear listener,
Ooh.
holding a koala, a shirtless firefighter holding a koala, and then selling this calendar for who knows what charity? I hope. I don't know. I didn't check that part of it out. It was very important. Anyway, so I'm just saying these New York firefighters are fucking pussies, and the Australian firefighters wouldn't have given up.
So let me make sure I understand. He went to go to
He was
steal.
robbing it seemed. Yeah. Yep.
And then he got locked inside, and then
Yep.
the firefighters were like, hello, we see that you're locked inside. We'll definitely come and get you. And then they like fell asleep, and then the thing opened on its own, and he was like,
Yeah.
tight. I guess I'll just get out of here.
They're saying they don't know why he became trapped, right? But they were starting the process to it's like 30 inches or 76 centimeters of steel reinforced concrete. So they're drilling through and they're like, hey man, we can't, we got to stop. And so basically the problem is with the plating is they'd have to use torches, which could affect the environment for the person inside the vault, like affecting the air, that, all this stuff, right? Could set the oxygen on fire.
Do we not have a fucking lockbox on this? Like, isn't there just like a couple
Is the manager asleep and it doesn't have a key?
Thumbprint? Like, I don't.
An eyeball scan? You can't get. Maybe that guy's in Bermuda. Well, here's what gets into my theory, Cassandra. Is this man a time traveler?
I mean, undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly, right?
Why else would this all have why break in when the manager apparently is in Bermuda
and can't be reached because he's jet skiing on an island?
And why break in on the first day of November firefighter turkey dinner night when he knew they were going to be so filled up on turkey that they will be too sleepy to get through?
The tryptophan, it made him so sleepy.
I mean, how could it not be a time traveler? This looks like this was a big job. He didn't do it on his own.
Yeah.
Took a lot of coordination.
And
they nailed it.
Well, I guess that's what happens when people band together and work for the common good.
Well, speaking of, I guess, the common good, from the dailystar.co, students demand glory holes on campus to create a positive working environment. I have a question.
Yes.
Is a glory hole something that you need to demand? Isn't it just kind of like, if you build it, they will come? No pun intended.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you build it, they will come, of course, Field of Dreams, but Field of Holes, I guess. But I feel like if ones are not already in existence, you can ask for such with collective bargaining, as these students are doing in Germany.
So they've demanded glory holes in a lecture hall, probably in the bathroom, but the demand was made within the lecture hall, I have to assume. They said they want 3 anonymous sex spots created along a specially constructed partition to challenge heteronormativity. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is what makes heterosexuality seem coherent, natural, and privileged, and the students reckon because glory holes are a kink, this will challenge said heteronormativity.
Kids are learning on how to unify and collective bargain, and I myself don't need it, but I wish them well.
So are they trying to say, if you give 3 opportunities on campus for anonymous gay or heterosexual encounters, I bet they'll get used? Is that what they're trying to say?
I think they're just being college kids and just being like, well, if we do this is challenge. It's like your time to kind of buck the system when you're young, in a way. That doesn't have to make sense. I myself, I was going to say this before I'm trash, but I did an organization in college through my university, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, I made some friends from other schools there. It was a every spring, every fall thing. When I went back one year, I chose not to go through my university because I was mad about something they were doing. Who knows, whatever. So probably very stupid. My friend couldn't go because her school stopped doing the organization through some circumstances, right? So we enrolled in Francis Tuttle, which Francis Tuttle is like a vocational school in Oklahoma. It's like a technology center. It's it's basically a vocational school. So we took a $10 class and then we enrolled as the Francis Tuttle delegation instead of being like Northeastern Oklahoma State University, Oklahoma State, University of Oklahoma, all this. We were the Francis Tuttle delegation. This was kind of a fuck you to the system. And we got mugs. I still have a mug that says Francis Tuttle. And people, they had a lot of fun with it at first. Then somebody got mad about it and challenged us. And then because it was a legislative activity, it was called the Oklahoma Intercollegiate Legislature. I'm a big nerd for like parliamentary procedure, blah, blah, blah. Somebody challenged us. So then we had to go through the court cases. And then our dear friend who was the governor, because there was like elected official, fake elected officials, had to kick us out because we weren't technically in the bylaws. We weren't the right type of educational institution, whatever. So then, we get kicked out at like 11:30 a.m. on like the third or second day. And then we go to lunch with the same governor. We're having a beer and we're like, hey, Joe, remember when you kicked us the fuck out of this organization about an hour and a half ago? We're mad. So then the whole organization rallied. They were either team Francis Tuttle or anti-Francis Tuttle. And then we had to have all these like fake court cases and all this stuff, whether we could go again or like be the Francis Tuttle delegation. Like we had a mascot. We were the Mavericks. People had a lot of fun with it. But I'm just saying, could have gone through OSU? Absolutely. Could she have gone through something else? Absolutely. But we wanted to buck the system because we were young. I'm just saying, I get it. Like, I get where these kids are coming from.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe they'll all grow up to be podcast hosts like you.
Well, one of us is an esteemed member of the bar, an attorney, and one of us hosts a podcast called Trashy. So, 50-50 there. 50-50 odds at Francis Tuttle.
Speaking of 50-50 odds, I don't know if that's probably not a good segue. But our next story is from Mirror.co. Looks like McDonald's left embarrassed after customers noticed a very rude fail on a cup design.
Something was in the water. Some special designs for a limited edition drink. And he said, this isn't quite good.
So McDonald's has realized that from certain positions and certain angles, it appears to show two people in X-rated positions. It's kind of, explain what it looks like, Erika.
So it's a translucent cup, and it has a boy and a girl on, let's say, it's a circle. So let's say the front side and the back side, even though it's kind of, not. But when the
one of them is on the front,
yeah,
the other one is on the back, and when the cup is empty,
it looks
like they're kissing.
One of them's blowing each other. The back is blowing the front.
To me, it looks like they're just kissing. I haven't seen the other angles though.
They're supposed to look like they're kissing. That's the front to front. But then the back side looks like he's doing her from behind or she's blowing him.
Yeah, so if you have it a little bit like 3/4 of an angle, it looks like he's doing her from behind. And then if you have the cup laid down flat and you are like standing back a little bit, yes, it looks like she's blowing him.
Yeah.
I mean, egg on their face, because they could have just put the same image on both sides, which is two, like a man and a woman kissing each other.
Yeah, but they didn't. And we all get to now have this joyous memory. I bet those cups are going to be sought after so hard on eBay.
Erika?
Yeah.
Speaking of sought after, have we done an ad?
We haven't, and I'm tired. I got to go look for these cups on eBay.
All right, let's do an ad. Erika, do you have any concerts coming up?
Always. I'm a festival girly, you know. I have to get the VIP though, because I cannot go without an air-conditioned bathroom.
Okay, well, my sweet angel, planning for faster and efficient hydration is also essential for festivals. And Liquid IV has you covered while you prep before, power through that headliner, and recover after the weekend.
Hey, now don't count yourself out while you're drunk poolside all summer, Cass. Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water and with 3 times the electrolytes than traditional sports drinks.
I mean, we really have no excuses. Liquid IV is actually standard in my purse. It goes phone, wallet, keys, Liquid IV.
And with flavors like lemon lime, pastique, that's French for watermelon, and my favorite, strawberry lemonade, staying hydrated is easy peasy.
Mama, I'm talking B3, I'm talking B5, I'm talking B6, and I'm screaming from the rooftops, B12.
They've got all the B's.
And there's a little bit of vitamin C in there too, just for kicks.
Oh, she's made from premium ingredients and is free from gluten, dairy, and soy.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, I'm vegan now. I don't know if I've talked about that yet.
We know, okay. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code TRASHY at checkout.
That's 20% off of anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code TRASHY at liquidiv.com.
Honestly, we're so trashy, we're hydrated.
Wet trash.
And we're back. Wow, I could not find the cups on eBay. They must have all sold out, but maybe one day I'll find them at a thrift store.
Well, speaking of thrift stores, from cbsnews.com, sent to us by none other than Tina Curry, likely human skull found in Halloween section of a Florida thrift store. That doesn't seem surprising.
You know, well, it's like Hobby Lobby selling like ancient Sumerian tablets. Like antiquities, the theft in the antiquity market and the illegal antiquities is getting out of control. But this was a surprising discovery in a Florida thrift stop by an anthropologist. They actually made that one. And they spotted a skull. And they were like, that looks like a real human skull.
The store owner had said that the skull had been in a storage unit that was purchased years ago. Sure, Jan.
Where's his first wife?
Under Florida law, no person shall knowingly offer to purchase or sell any human organ or tissues for valuable consideration. Thanks, Florida law?
Honestly, that's what sucks is they had to write it down. You know?
In September, there was another human skull that was reported in a donation box at an Arizona Goodwill store. And in that case, the responding police department said that the medical examiner's office determined that the skull was likely not related to a criminal case. Just your average basement skull.
Sure.
You know, like... But how do you get a skull without... I suppose, you know, if you're one of those... We buried him on the property.
Alas,
but not
poor
without...
Lord. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is.
Erika,
yeah,
it's cursed to play that role. You
is
have
it?
to stop. Hamlet?
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's the thing. Like, you're not supposed to say, I'm not going to say it, but you're not supposed
play.
to. The Scottish play.
Right.
And then I think that the role of Hamlet is like, kind of like how the role of the Joker is allegedly cursed. I think the role of Hamlet is kind of cursed as well.
Let me look. Hamlet cursed? I don't know. Interesting.
You know who would know? This is Patreon subscriber John Sylvain. He would know. Patreon subscriber and Nooner host John Sylvain would know about this.
Well, please write in, John. Correct us.
Yeah.
I did. God damn it.
You can just text me, John. You don't have to write in. Write in.
Write in.
No, I'm just kidding. Cut that.
When I was doing pageants, this flashed me. Yeah, like I said, I did like comedic monologues, and I think I did a play on Hamlet's speech about Horatio or something, or Mercutio, whatever his name. Anyway, I vaguely remember having a plastic skull and doing something. And goddamn, if anybody has that home video footage, write in. You know what I mean? Make the memories. Well, if you have that whole
Thanks.
video, send in. We want to make the memories. And you know what else is a memory-making trip for a lot of families?
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
From the NewYorkPost.com, Disney theme park guests are pooping while waiting in line for rides. Okay, so I haven't shit my pants at Disney. The last time I went to Disneyland was recently, within the last few months, because I just happened to know someone who happens to work for someone, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't matter. If you live in LA and you know someone who works for Disney, chances are they get free tickets. It just doesn't matter. I have no time to get into it. Okay. I have privileges that you don't. Okay. Just kidding. But I did go to Disneyland and we had, a certain front of the line status.
Whoa.
And which was pretty major. And I didn't realize just how major that was until, so I hadn't been to Disneyland in like a decade prior to this. These lines, girl,
It's no
they
joke.
are long.
It's getting out of control.
People, wait. First of all, Disneyland, hey, we know you like money, but can you put a cap on how many people come in per day? Like, my God.
They do. That's the crazy thing. There is a cap.
Do they?
Yeah, there's a cap. Yeah, it can hit capacity and they can turn you away.
Well, they ought to lower that because so there's Disney. This is in California, Anaheim. There's Disneyland and then there's California Adventure. So if you get a park hopper pass, you can do both. Major difference. California Adventure sells alcohol. So what I was seeing,
Disney is doing more alcohol now. Disneyland
is starting to sell alcohol.
Yeah, they can already sell it in Star Wars Land, and they can start to sell it in the Bayou is going to start selling. I'm sorry, I'm like fucking Disney nerd about this stuff, but yeah, they're going to start having alcoholic drinks in more parts of the park in Disneyland.
Well, it's the least they can do because so we went to Cars Land and just got in the fast pass line or whatever the fuck it's called, Lightning. People were getting wasted waiting for this, absolutely wasted. And it's like, well, yeah, I guess what else are they supposed to do? So to hear this headline that they're pooping while they're waiting in line for rides, of course they are.
And we're not talking about toddlers or babies that haven't been potty trained. They're always shitting their pants at Disneyland, but they have a diaper on. We're changing them. This is adults.
Someone posted on Reddit, I'm in the queue for Rise of Resistance at Disney World, which is in Florida. Someone just let their kid take a dump on the floor and then they walked out and left it.
Jesus. That's insane.
I mean, people are waiting 2 hours to ride.
Some of them. Yeah.
And the rides are, I don't know, 2 minutes max?
No, Rise of Resistance a little bit longer, but
I don't remember.
Yeah. There's a bar inside. So it was a huge deal because Disneyland doesn't sell alcohol anywhere except for Club 33, which is a private club within Disney. But now Star Wars Land got a permit because it's on a different plot. It's a different portion of land where they could have a bar. So they have a cantina, Star Wars bar, right? You're only supposed to order 2 drinks because it's a timed entrance and you're only supposed to be cut off.
And how can you afford more than 1?
Winston and I one time drank 4 in an hour and we were wasted.
Did you blow your whole day's budget? Aren't they so expensive?
Oh, they were so expensive. This is when we were both working.
Okay, well, of course.
But they have one drink that is ghost peppercorns, but it's foam. And so it's really good, but it numbs your tongue, right? But because it's a foam, you can accidentally inhale it. And they have to, all the bartenders are trained because when you do that, you think your throat numbs, you think you're choking. And so the bartenders tell you hey, make sure you don't inhale and all this stuff. They have all happened to Winston's brother. He got some of it on his beard and it inhaled and he thought he was frozen. And so they had to be okay, you're fine. We're just going to have you breathe through this. But people are losing their minds. I'm I can't believe Disney, the most litigious company, is selling this drink.
Yeah. Is there not another option to get that same flavor? That's crazy.
It's the
to
numbing
me.
sensation that you know what I mean? It's like, what else numbs your tongue? But anyway,
Who cares? What do you
that's
need
the
your
appeal
tongue
of
numb
it.
for?
Yeah. Anyway, it's wild, but yeah, I guess they're pooping. They're pooping left and right, and it's like, well, they're what they want is to drive people to buy the genie passes, which is the front of the line pass.
Yeah, I mean, or just build some bathrooms in line or something. I don't know. Like that's that's crazy. Not as crazy as this next ad, though.
Do you need more trash in your life?
I'd say better in my life than dumped in the ocean.
Well, Trashy is now on Patreon.
Oh, yay!
We have ad-free episodes, bonus content, an exclusive RSS link, outtakes, photos, and more.
And with tiers starting at only $1.99 a month, you'll be the trashiest person on your block.
It's a great opportunity to show your support for this podcast and to skip hearing ads like this.
So get on over to patreon.com/trashytrashypodcast and start subscribing today.
Again, that's patreon.com/trashytrashypodcast, and we'll see you behind the paywall. All right, Cass, it's time for We Cut That. These are stories that didn't just quite have maybe the juice or too much juice, or a lot of it's really just in the headline. So we're not going to go into them all the way, but as always, all of our stories will be linked in the show notes if you want to read yourself.
And we cut that.
First, We Cut That story is from people.com. Jared Leto climbs the Empire State Building. Quote, "It was a lot harder than I thought it would be."
What did he think, a 16-year-old girl was up there?
Ooh.
Jared Leto's allegedly a creep. I hope you all know this. He's a predator and a gross person.
Yep, put that, I guess, under the column of too much juice, because we simply can't get into Jared Leto.
Not today.
Is the friggin' worst.
Second story from themirror.co.uk. Man can't go abroad as his surname is too rude for passport. Kenny Kinnard changed his surname legally for a joke, but it seemed to have backfired him as he was unable to get a passport. He changed his name from Kennard, Kennard, to Fu-Kennard. Fucknard. Fucking nard.
Fucking nard.
Right.
You know,
was it worth it?
Like, yeah, was it worth it? What if that was just his last name and then they just wouldn't give a password? But I guess they're like, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, I guess, William Bitch Tits has just been traveling the world with no issues, but Kenny Kennard can't. Sad day.
Well, we cut that.
We got it. Yeah. From FoxOrlando35.com, Florida man threatens officers after they tell his wife about drunken pool incident, the police say.
That's hilarious.
Hey, man, you can arrest me. You can take away my privileges. You cannot let me be within so many feet of a school. But if you fucking tell my wife, I will kill you. Is telling the police you'll fucking kill him ever worked out for anyone?
No.
Oh, God damn it. Florida man going Florida man, but Cass, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, it's time for the dumpster fire of the week.
Oh my God. From finance.yahoo.com, crypto bros report burning eyes and skin at Bored Ape Bacchanal.
Now, if any of that was recognizable to you, get off the internet.
What began as a jovial conference celebrating crypto culture, yuck, and flashy non-fungible tokens, this weekend ended with multiple attendees in hospital believing that they were going blind.
So the Ape Fest of the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT collection event in Hong Kong, a lot of them woke up in the middle of the night with a burning sensation and fears that they were losing their vision. A lot of the users went to Twitter, I'm not calling it X, claimed to have sought medical treatment for their mysterious ailment.
Though the exact cause of the eye issue remains unclear, attendees speculated it could have something to do with the particularly bright flashing lights emanating from the conference stage. One attendee who claims to have sought medical attention cited a doctor who claimed powerful UV lighting could have been the culprit for his burning eyes. Well, I mean, you're there to celebrate crypto culture. Why wouldn't you have bright lights and lasers?
Yeah. Yeah. So they used UV lights, essentially, which are typically this type of ultraviolet ray is a lot of times used for like sanitation, and like it's not meant for parties. Like it's truly like a severe light. And they were having it, flash around while they had their very expensive JPEGs that I could just take a screenshot of at any given time.
Another victim who visited a doctor claims that they were diagnosed with photokeratitis, also known as welder's flash, and was prescribed a steroid eye drop.
That is no joke. I know people that have had that. Yeah. Ugh.
As its colloquial name suggests, photokeratitis often occurs following a sudden exposure to ultraviolet radiation, either from the sun or man-made light sources.
Yeah.
It also can happen if you get light off of the snow, aka snow blindness.
Ooh.
There's plenty of spotlights and things that
Yeah.
should be like available. I don't get it.
The Bored Ape Yacht Club, which there's a dispensary. There's a Bored Ape dispensary, marijuana dispensary in Los Angeles now, and it makes me so angry every time I drive past it.
Why?
But because I just hate them. I hate these crypto bros and this Bored Ape bullshit. And like Jimmy Fallon and Paris Hilton were all like, "Look at mine." I'm like, they were absolutely paid for these. It's so you have to disclose if it's an ad. I can't. They said about 15% of people so far have come forward, which is about 1% of the 2,200 event attendees. And the Bored Ape themselves are trying to like downplay it and be like, no, guys, it's not a big deal. It's very few people, but it's like one person having that happen is too fucking many, in my opinion.
It's one of those when there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing. Like one person is kind of like, well, maybe they have their own thing going on. But like as soon as you start to have 15 people so far, it's kind of like maybe something was happening. There's a similar issue that was reportedly occurring in Hong Kong back in 2017 when a handful of partygoers attending a pop-up event between Japanese artists and a streetwear brand reported experiencing extreme eye pain in that evening. And it was kind of similar, like burning sensation or the feeling of having sand stuck in your eyes. And there was a DJ set that had bright pink and blue flashing lights.
Is it not insanely ironic that like this group of people who have invested in essentially now worthless artwork, sales have dropped 98% since May of 2022.
How much? 20?
98% since May of 2022.
Oh, I thought you said 20%. I was like, that's not too bad. No, 98% makes way more sense because these are stupid and worthless.
Vast majority of NFTs are completely worthless now. But
they were like the Beanie Babies of the digital age.
But guess what? I can still have a Beanie Baby. That's a fun.
That's true. It's a
that's
physical
a fungible
thing.
token. I can touch that. You literally have a JPEG that is worthless that you spent $100,000 on, and now because of this irresponsibility of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, you might not ever be able to see it again.
Yeah,
these assholes. I want them sued. I want all of them sued on these people's behalfs. Like, I wish there was a type of lawsuit. And I'm sure people are going to feel like this is frivolous, but like, lawyers get at me. Let's write some laws. Is there a country where I can just be like, this annoys me? It doesn't cause me physical harm, monetary harm. It just annoys me. Can I bring a lawsuit for that?
I think that's just going on the internet and like letting the court of public opinion take it over.
Can I do that? Oh yeah, it's not lost on me. Anyway, Cass, other than Bored Ape NFTs, what are you hoarding?
Well, I suppose this wasn't struck work, but I'm hoarding it anyways. Have you brought this up yet? I don't know. There's a documentary on Hulu about the Hillsong Church.
Yes, I've watched all of them.
We are 3 out of 4 in. It's called The Secrets of Hillsong.
Mhm.
Not that hard to look up. And Hillsong was, I don't know, but it was a very popular evangelical megachurch that had a youthful draw. Like, it's not your average everyday evangelicals, I'll say. It's more, they were trying to, it came across as this cool young hip church, you know, a lot of millennials, very charismatic young good-looking pastor, celebrities. Like, this was, you know, he was the pastor for basketball teams, Justin Bieber, whatever. Like, he was on TV a lot. This is a documentary about that church, that Hillsong church. It's very interesting. It's frustrating. And I'll tell you this, I don't think this is a spoiler, because this was like pretty big news. This pastor gets taken from his position, removed from his position, after an affair and a scandal or whatever. And there's a few documentaries about Hillsong Church, but this is the one that people say to start with, at the very least, if you're going to watch more, because they actually get the guy. Like, they get that former pastor to talk about that time, because of course, with many documentaries and with just anything that you look into in organized religion, usually the first story you get is not the real story. There's usually a lot happening. And this is what's crazy about it. And tell me if you felt the same. Even though you know that this guy headed like this crazy, wild evangelical church, which, no matter how much positivity and messages you want to put out there, evangelicals still are, it's a very conservative belief system. Anti-abortion, anti-gay, et cetera. You still root for this guy. Like, he's so charismatic. I am. Like, he's so charismatic that, like, the fact that he's doing his own, like, he's commenting on it and doing interviews on it, all of a sudden, like, I just suddenly am like, whatever he says, I trust, because he's admitting to, like, wrongdoing and all this kind of stuff. And I find myself trusting him. And I talked to Taylor about it, and I was like, isn't that crazy? And he was like, yeah, he's just that charismatic. And it almost reminds me of, like, Tom Cruise, in a sense, where, like, Tom Cruise, everyone knows, is like literally, like, so involved in Scientology and so, like, complicit with all of the horrible things that Church Scientology have done, but he's still one of the biggest movie stars in the world, and you still will go and
the
watch.
last movie star, you know?
Maybe, but he'll still go and watch him in Maverick and enjoy him and stuff, and it's just because he's got that thing, whatever that thing is, that draw that makes you forget all this other stuff. And so I haven't watched the last episode, so maybe I'll change my tune, but I'm 3 episodes in and I'm like, I can't not like this guy.
See, I did not like this guy. That's so interesting, because I was like, fuck this guy.
But, like, you feel that way, but then I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know, maybe, but in this house, we can't help ourselves. For some reason, we just like him. I have no experience with a mega church, though. I like, my brief church experience throughout my entire life, I can't recall any time that we were involved in, like, a big mega church, though. So, like, maybe there's that element to it where this isn't, like, a particularly, like, triggering documentary to me.
Right.
Although there is some pretty dark stuff that comes up, but
really dark
anyways,
stuff. Yeah.
I recommend this documentary. It's very, very interesting. If you're a fan of The Righteous Gemstones,
Yeah.
come watch it in real life.
Yeah, for real.
What are you hoarding?
I'm hoarding, there's 2 documentaries by formerly struck companies that I can now talk about. It's about the Twin Flames universe in general. So the first one is Desperately Seeking Soulmate on Amazon Prime. This one was good. I feel like this is a good primer. So watch that first. The second one just came out on Netflix called Escaping Twin Flames. That one, I feel like, was more, it's just differently detailed. They have different people speaking about their experience. So Twin Flames is this concept of, like, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly say that they are each other's twin flames. You're in this harmonious, perfect union. This isn't just your soulmate. This is your twin flame. Well, these two people, Jeff and Shalia, started this online, like YouTube, and they started selling courses saying that they were twin flames. They'll teach you how to get your twin flames. Okay, whatever. You need dating coaches. That's fine. But then it became, your twin flame is that person. And let's say you identify as heterosexual and you're both women. One of you need to change your gender because there can be a divine masculine and a divine feminine. Like there's no, okay, well, maybe, if your twin flame gets a restraining order against you, maybe that person's not your twin flame. They're like, you gonna let a piece of paper stop you? Go get him. Go get your man. Like deranged and insane. And you see these like fucking weirdo hippies get so much money over the course of this thing. Like going from like barefoot living in Hawaii, like that white person that moves to Hawaii kind of vibe to like all wearing Chanel dresses. It's truly unhinged. This is not an indictment in any way against like trans people or like people that are struggling with gender dysmorphia. It is them assigning you this in a way. It's bizarre. I've read so much about this and the documentaries are finally starting to come out and twin flames, man, it's wild, but there's two.
So the first one is on Prime and you said it's called Desperately Seeking Soulmate, and then the second one is on Netflix and it's about what?
It's called what? Escaping Twin Flames Universe. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I've been like very much vibing with documentaries, so
I'm a documentary bitch. Yeah.
I love
have another one. I'll have to save it for next week. But anyway, what are you throwing away?
There are certain expectations that one has.
Sure.
When you go somewhere like a Home Goods, that you're going to be able to find the now out of style, but boomers still like it, collage picture frame.
Of course. Yes.
And Home Goods has decided that they aren't going to sell those collage picture frames anymore. They are only going to sell gallery wall picture frames, which is, probably, I think that they're always like one step behind. So like, I think gallery walls are very much in right now, but like to have a gallery wall where every frame is the same is not like something that's like in,
No. Yeah.
And so, but that's what they have. They have gallery walls with every frame is the same. So they are one step behind the trend, and the trend prior to that or two prior to that was collage photo frames. Anyways, for reasons that I won't get into, I actually needed specifically a collage frame. And I thought, well, surely Home Goods will have it. And they didn't have it. And I just think that is a failure on Home Goods.
We used to be a proper country.
Because I don't want to go to Amazon to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go to Home Goods to get it right away. So I guess I'm throwing out Home Goods. Like stay in your lane.
I love it. I agree.
What are you throwing out?
I'm throwing out the parking situation in my particular neighborhood.
Girl, I'm throwing that shit out too.
I picked up some keys from someone because I'm going to be doing some stuff in their home. And then I went to just run into a 7-Eleven. Let me just grab a quick little drink, right? When I tell you there was about an escalation, this particular parking, it has a lot of businesses. It's some of those like mini little strip malls, restaurants, 7-Eleven, ice cream shops, bars, right? There's a valet parking 24/7 for this place. And I pull in just normal, right? I pull in. Well, then a car tries to pull in on the other side of me. And now two of us are facing the same direction. This is one faces forward, one is pulling out, like chaos. People were honking. I thought I was going to see a gun getting pulled. Like it was insane. I just want my little monster drink and then get out of here. And the parking attendant, the valet was doing nothing. He was like, I don't know what to tell you guys. It was unhinged. So I was very upset by this incident. But yeah, the whole parking situation Normally it's not too crazy, but this was just a particular, and I've seen this happen more and more.
Okay, lately, I've been thinking to myself, look, whenever I encounter someone who's kind of rude or not really doing their job, I always like to give them the benefit of the doubt and just assume that they're not being paid well enough, because it might be true. And lately, the past few months or so, I don't know if I'm becoming more sensitive or just like this is just really the reality, but like I feel like parking attendants don't do shit.
Truly.
And like hate when you reach out and speak to them.
Hate
they
it.
Can't stand it. And it's like, look, I know that this is a very solitary job and you're probably just in there watching TikToks, but like I just need you for a quick sec.
Just for a moment. Just a sec.
And I'll tell you first, I'm the bad guy here. I didn't see that you didn't take Amex and I put my Amex in there. Okay? Like, just help me get my card out and we'll move on, you know? But like, they just don't do anything anymore except hate you.
Nobody
and hate
wants to work anymore.
I'm like, what do you need to get paid? I sound like a boomer. What do you need to get paid to put a smile on that face? I don't know, girl. I just think like the stakes are too high in LA specifically for us to underpay our parking attendants. You know?
Yeah. I hear you. I agree. Well, anyway, Cass, now that we know what you don't like, where do we like you online? Where can we find you online?
Where can you find me online? Ooh, if you go to www.barnesandnoble.com/w/iron-flame-rebecca-yaros YARROS -114344565 EAN =$9781649374172. You'll find my entire social media.
Hey, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Where can the people find you?
They can find me at Iconic Erika Curry on Instagram, TikTok, Spill, Threads, Blue Sky, who knows. You can find me at Iconic Erika on Poshmark. And if you message me, I can shoot you, I can make you a discount. I can shoot you an offer, give you some free shipping, whatever you need. But more importantly is where you can find this podcast. So you can find us at Trashy Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Twitter, all the sites. Our website is trashypodcast.com, where you can send in stories, tell us why you're trash. Our merch store, which is trashypodcast.threadless.com, just added a legalized trash t-shirt to the bunch. Very excited about that. Now,
it's cute. It's
very cute. I'm really sad I got one in the mail. If you would like to hear ad-free versions of this podcast and bonus episodes, beginning with our coverage of The Bachelor, The Golden Bachelor, you can join us at patreon.com/trashypodcast. We're setting up Apple subscriptions. It's very difficult. And we're setting up the Spotify subscriptions where you can get the ad-free and the bonus episodes there as well if you don't go to patreon.com. We'll be posting lots of bonus content, etc. Use code TRASHY for all discounts. And we just want to say thank you so much for being a baby trash can, for listening. This means the world to us. We really appreciate all of your support, sending in stories, responding and engaging on social, leaving a 5-star review, getting on the bonus content really helps the podcast keep going. And we appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. Whatever. Thanks.
Oh, all right. Hey, Cass.
What's going on, girl?
Stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
So what I actually linked was the second book. It just came out in this series. And the first book, it all takes place at like this like dragon college. And it takes a while to get there. But like there is a part like maybe 3/4 away in the book where these characters just...
Fantastic.
That's the first book, though. I haven't gotten to the second one. It just came out, like I said.
If you ain't fucking at Dragon College, what are you doing?
Oh, hello.
Bye-bye.